What started as a running 1979 Scout II quickly became one of the biggest restorations we've ever taken on. When we first bought this Scout home, it didn't look like much. It was covered in years of dirt, dust, and enough mud dauberness to earn itself the nickname almost immediately.
Mud Dauber.
It wore faded baby blue paint with white stripes, a white and tan interior, and a manual transmission. Amazingly, it even ran. At first glance, it looked like a solid project that simply needed a little bit of attention. We couldn't have been more wrong. As we began tearing into the truck, what looked like a straightforward restoration slowly revealed itself to be something much bigger. Every panel we removed uncovered more rust, more hidden damage, and more reasons why most people would have given up long before we did. By the time the bodywork was fully assessed, we weren't talking about patching a few rusty spots anymore. We replaced the passenger side quarter panel, the taillight panel on both sides, the rear floor, both front floor pans, both rockers, different front fenders. So we got one from EJ Classics and we got another from a good quality parts vehicle. Set of really clean doors we had on another parts truck, different tailgate, and we even went so far as to get an entirely different roof. What was a clean Scout pretty much had every single panel touched. The original body had been reduced to nothing more than really just the firewall and the driver's side quarter panel. If we were going to save this truck, aka Mud Dauber, we're going to do it right. One thing the Scout II has always been known for is rust. We didn't just want to repair the damage, we wanted to make sure it never came back. That philosophy became the foundation of the entire build. Our goal has been simple from day one: clean, protect, and rebuild every component we possibly can. Every bracket, every suspension piece, axle housing, even every bolt that could be saved would get laser cleaned, refinished, and protected with Cerakote before going back on the truck. By the time Mud Dauber is finished, it just might be one of the cleanest, most well-sorted Scout IIs on the planet. With the body moving through repairs, our attention turned to the drivetrain. We picked up an L9H V8 out of a 2013 or 14, we're not sure exactly, Cadillac Escalator Suburban to become the new heart of the Scout. Back at the shop, we tore it down to see exactly what we had, and mechanically, things looked surprisingly good. The biggest surprise wasn't inside the engine at all. The wiring harness that came with it looked like it had been attacked by beavers. Fortunately, that's something we can fix. Before putting the laser to the engine, we needed to protect every opening from blast media so that everything would be sealed off and complete. We put block-off plates on it. But before the cleaning began, there was really one key question, and that was, would it actually fit? We mocked up the engine and the frame, worked through the motor mount placement, made a few modifications, and after some careful, precise adjustments, everything finally came together. Once we knew the swap would work, the engine and frame went their separate ways so each could receive the attention it deserved. The engine was thoroughly cleaned, carefully prepped, and coated in Cerakote alongside the matching 6L80E transmission before eventually being reunited. While the drivetrain was coming together, the frame itself was stripped completely bare. Years of dirt and surface rust were removed through pressure washing and laser cleaning before it was sent off for powder coating. While the frame was away, we shifted our focus to the rear axle. The Dana 44 was completely disassembled, wheels off, brakes off, axles out, everything cleaned, inspected, evaluated before we rebuilt the axle using a complete rebuild kit. Once everything checked out, the housing was laser cleaned, prepared, and finished in Cerakote, along with several suspension components and even the headers that will eventually find their way onto the engine. Every part going back on this Scout is getting the same level of attention, not because it has to, but because we want it to. Eventually the call came. The frame was finished. After weeks of preparation, seeing it return fresh from powder coat felt like a huge milestone for this project. Instead of looking like the rusty foundation we started with, it finally looked like the backbone of a brand new build. Assembly could finally begin. The rebuilt Dana 44 axle went back under the frame, followed by the new Alcan rear springs, and even the original wheels for now. For the first time in a long time, Mud Dauber was beginning to resemble a vehicle instead of a pile of parts. Next came the front axle. Just like the rear, it was completely disassembled, laser cleaned, prepped, and finished in Cerakote before being reassembled and installed back into the freshly powder-coated frame. Piece by piece, the chassis was finally coming back to life. Today, the freshly rebuilt rolling chassis is over at the body shop where the next phase of this project begins. For the first time since this restoration started, we'll be bringing the body and chassis back together. Looking back, it's hard to believe how much this project's changed. We thought we were buying a running Scout that needed a little work. Instead, we ended up rebuilding nearly the entire truck from the ground up. And honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. There's still plenty of work ahead for Project Mud Dauber before she finally returns to the road. But every challenge has brought us one step closer to building the Scout we envisioned from the very beginning. This is only the next chapter in the story. We cannot wait to show you what's coming next.